one hostile desert, insert 8 young adventurers, and bake in 40-degree heat for 3 weeks. It's a recipe for tension, trauma, and triumph. Every night the team get the chance to let off steam in a video diary, giving us the chance to find out what's really going down in the desert. The serious desert team have journeyed halfway round the world to the southern African country of Namibia. They always knew it was going to be tough, but things were a bit of a nightmare before they even got to their first training camp called Elephant Song. Freak rainstorms turned their journey through the desert into a long, muddy slog. The 8 adventurers won through from more than 6,000 applicants to come here, and in their very first video diary, some confessed they were already having second thoughts.
Hi, today's my first video diary and I'm absolutely knackered. It's 12 at night and I haven't even been to bed yet. We haven't had our dinner or nothing.
When we was on the way to Elephant Song and it started raining and it wasn't cold, but we were so wet and it was so uncomfortable, and it was then I think a lot of people were thinking, oh, I'd rather be at home now.
I'm getting like homesick and all that. I know it's like only the second or third day here, but it's like I get really homesick.
And you start thinking, oh, what if it's like this all the way through? And then the driver said, oh yeah, it's probably going to be raining every day for 2 months. And you just think, oh, please no, because then it just puts me anyway in such a bad mood because I hate the rain.
When they finally made it to camp, expedition leader Bruce showed them round.
These are like traditional cow dung huts, yeah, and this is where you're going to be staying. What do you think?
It's quite cool, actually. Something just flew on me. I'm not sure about the insect.
It was a total surprise and completely different to anything they'd ever experienced.
Day before yesterday, I was at home in a bed with electricity and a TV, and now I am sleeping in a hut made out of cowpat and sort of no running water, no electricity. We have to poo in this sort of basically a sort of hole in the ground.
It's just like an African village. It really is typical African, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to rough it, but not in a British way in a tent. I wanted to, and we've got huts that are made out of cow dung, which they're amazing.
The camp we're in now is sort of what I expected, because we're in like little mud huts with like nothing on the floor. We've just got a roll mat and mosquito nets. There's quite a lot of bugs and stuff, and Bruce said there was like lions and elephants nearby, which is pretty cool. But we can't obviously then go out the tent, so that's a bit of a problem.
It's brilliant here because you kind of feel like this is a real deal. You know, you're not going into a wee zoo or safari park. You know, we're here in Africa seeing them. You know, we're in their home. It's brilliant. It's really good.
Now they're saying that there's lions in the area, so I'm a bit scared that I end up sleepwalking. I think that's a bit worrying.
Only the night before, Parry sleepwalked in the hotel.
Well, went sleepwalking, picked up my blanket, put it down underneath the door, opened the cupboard, opened the bathroom door and went back to sleep. Like when I woke up I was like freezing and all the doors were open and my quilt was on the other side of the room. Is this going to get locked?
Suddenly everyone's...
No, there's no need for it to get locked, mate.
Apart from Parry wandering
off
into the night.
No, you won't. No, we're cool. We're cool.
Come here, lion.
We'll box you into the corner.
Nobody leaves the hut.
While Parry was worried about his sleepwalking, the rest of the team were more concerned about another of his habits.
Guess what this is for?
I'm next to Parry. He's cool, but and there's 2 things. One, he fart's got a vet, and I'm stuck in a cow dung house with him, and if he sleepwalks he's going to get tangled up in a mozzie net and fall right on top of me.
He's always farting, and he's like, them farts that really stink, like them beans or egg farts.
There's nobody really in that much that's annoying me. There's a couple of wee habits always. Parry's farting. It's always going to annoy you a bit.
What can you say?
I can't really help it. Like, if I need to fart, I need to fart.
No, for us, yeah, it's going to be...
As well as putting up with each other's nasty habits, they're having to get used to the idea of spending 24 hours a day together.
People continually harping on will just get on my nerves. I'll snap at someone and then I'll feel very, very bad and have to apologise, and not looking forward to that. But I'm going to try and keep my temper under wraps for as long as possible.
I'm friends with everyone, but you know, like sometimes you just get really stressed at people and you just want them to like leave you alone. I don't want to go home, it's like really good and all that, but I'll be really happy when I do go home because I'm like in a place that I've never been before, and the most furthest place I've been before like is like with the school and all that, so you know I'm getting very homesick.
Day 2 started in sunshine, and for the first time they saw what an amazing place they were living in. Ahead lay a packed schedule of desert training to help them survive in the extreme conditions. But throughout the day, more torrential downpours kept holding them up and dampened everyone's spirits.
Hi video camera, this is like day 2 and everything's like going completely wrong.
Good evening. This is my second video diary, and tonight I'm not happy at all.
It's like been raining everywhere around the country. It's worse than what England can be, like it's horrible, and the hut we're in at the moment is like I got all this water dripping down my back like when I'm speaking to you. It's just horrible.
Didn't imagine this would be like this at all, seriously. I just hate rain, I can't stand the rain. And today most people was like, I think everyone was like, I had enough, it's time to go home. And we just got here, it's like this is our second day.
Nightmare.
My emotions have been like on a roller coaster ride, because it's like 1 minute you're like cold and wet and want to go home and feel really depressed, and then the next minute it's like, oh yay, I'm here in Namibia with these 7 people that I don't know very well.
I don't even like it yet.
13-year-old Holly certainly hadn't settled in. She was still really missing home.
The most I've only been away from my parents is like 3 days.
Yes, this is huge, isn't it? You suddenly feel like you are absolutely miles away. But you're not very far. Yeah, and they must be so proud of you.
You have to say something about your buddy.
To help them through the expedition, all the team were paired up with a buddy. Holly's partner was Ellie, but with Holly struggling so much, Ellie was starting to feel the strain.
Holly's my buddy, and I really, really like her. I adore her, she's so sweet. But when she seems like really like reluctant to do anything or eat anything, and it's just I'm constantly going, Holly, drink some water, and she's like getting all angry with me. I don't really know what to do.
Yesterday I was really homesick, and I'm still like homesick today.
I just know I wish she'd sort of go for it a bit more, because I have to be there like every step of the way, like telling her and encouraging her, and then she gets angry at me because I've kind of like pushed her a bit too much, and I don't know, I wish it was kind of easier.
The team started to learn how to handle camels in preparation for their main expedition. In a week's time they'll set off on a marathon 50-mile trek across the desert. The camels will carry all their essential supplies.
Just don't open your mouth while I'm doing this, yeah? Thank you. This way.
That's it, yeah, that's it, that bit, right over the head, that's it, my hero.
We were introduced to our camels and that, and they stink. And we've got to kind of feed them and stuff like that.
I didn't think they'd be that tall, like, but a bit scary.
We had to try and put their muzzle guard thing on over their face, and that was quite good, because at first I thought I was going to be really scared of them, because they were like making funny noises, sort of,
at you, like it goes like that, which is like a sort of growl. What I think is a growl anyway. It like looks like it's gonna growl, so it's a bit scary when they do that.
Surprisingly, Chris had quite a phobia of the camels.
Do you want to get eaten? It took me a while actually to get to know these camels, and I was pretty scared at first because they were all in a clump and we had to go in and put a muzzle over them, and they got quite big teeth and they go "Wah," and open their mouths.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a, you know, bad temper every now and then, but I promise you, if you do what we say and listen to these guys, you'll be fine.
The first one I tried, when I went in, he goes "Bleh," and just burps at me and growled, so I was a bit nervous.
There you go.
Yeah, you've done it.
No,
I liked him.
I like this one. I like this.
While Chris got over his fear, Promise found they had some disgusting habits.
Go on, turn around, turn around.
One spat in my face, that was disgusting, and I can't even have a shower. I just feel so dirty. I feel so dirty. Dirtier than Christina Aguilera's video. I've got sand like everywhere, and I mean everywhere. And I've got water dripping down. It's so yucky.
It rained so much the boys' hut flooded and they had to move in with the girls. But 4 boys and 4 girls packed into one mud hut didn't make for happy campers.
We got back and our room was totally flooded, and everyone was getting really peed off because, well, the boys anyway, because our room was flooded. There was so much water on the floor and all our stuff was soaking wet.
I think our hut's the only one that's actually dry because our roof doesn't leak at all. Well, touch wood, it won't leak anymore either.
So then we had to go into the girls' room, which, okay, that was fine, but then we had to move all our stuff there, so there was hardly any space. And because everyone was in such a mood because it was wet and cold, we was just having stupid arguments, silly arguments that we could have prevented, and we could have done it a lot quicker, so we're still not done now.
There's not enough room actually to put anything down, and there's not enough room to tie these up because you're taking up like 3/4.
Can we just do like one mosquito net with 2 people inside?
That's what we did. That's what we did.
The girls, yeah, they're all nice and dry and everything. They all have their nice sleeping bags, and we went to stay in their place because it's a huge hut. It's enormous. Could be about 50 people in there, yeah, and they're not cooperating, and it's just getting really awkward, and I'm quite annoyed. Amy says there's not enough space for like 8 people to be in one hut.
They just won't listen. I'm not joking. They're just like, we've slept there last night. We know the dimensions. We know how many people fit there, here, there, and everywhere, and they just won't listen. They're just, it's like they're rigging up their mosquito nets in the most ridiculous way. It's like they fit that way and they're trying to put them up that way, and it's just, what are you doing? Seriously, it's killing me.
We couldn't decide where to put the mosquito nets, just a stupid thing like that, and we had a really big argument over it, all of us. Some people saying we should put it lengthways and some people saying we should put it like in rows.
I was thinking 2 people to 1 mosquito net. So if you have a mosquito net there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, whoa, hey presto, it's done. And you put the bags in the middle, and they're claiming there's not enough space. Well, even if there wasn't, you just shove it down the side or something. It's wide as well. I'm not 15.5 stone and 7'10", am I? And neither are girls, but they're just being really stupid.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, there still might not be enough room.
No, listen.
I just can't get them to listen, and they know best, and it's killing me. Oh no, I love them to bits, I do. They're brilliant, like they're really nice, but just we're all so wet and cold, and there's not enough room, and you know, 8 people with 8 massive bags and day sacks, whatever. They need to listen to everyone before we make any decisions, because this is just getting unbelievable. And
Okay, the rain was nice for the first day, a bit of drizzle, because I was really hot, but now it's just getting stupid. Even the local folk haven't seen this much rain in ages, and it's even leaking through now. Really not happy, as you could probably tell.
I'm going to go to bed now because I'm really... Well, no, actually I'm not. I'm going to have to go and fight with all of boys for a bit longer about where we're going to sleep, and we'd probably end up sleeping, you know, in the bush somewhere. Anyway, night.
It certainly didn't turn out to be a good night for David. He had a stinking headache and wasn't impressed with the rest of the gangs carrying on.
Guys, can you keep it down, yeah? Got a really, really bad headache, yeah? I've really had enough of this. My head is thumping. Oh, I'm crap. I wish people would just shut up. That's the honest truth.
Harry, how many farts have you done tonight?
But the night was a long and noisy one and caused quite a bust-up between the boys.
Last night was not very nice. I made the mistake of sleeping right next to Parry. So, first of all, we kept just talking all night and making just ourselves laugh and no one else, and everyone was getting really upset with us.
They wouldn't be quiet and I could not get to sleep. I was getting really angry with them. It's like, I've got a bad head. If you didn't shut up in 20 seconds, I'm going to have to bruise all. And that was practically the exact words he said. I think I was a bit annoyed with that. He was saying you've got to shut up, because he wanted us to shut up. I didn't really want to shut up. I was having a good time with Martin, laughing and carrying on, and he didn't like it. I felt really bad the next morning because I was shouting at them and everything. And I felt bad for the whole morning.
Parry was still worried about his own sleeping patterns.
I'm starting to sleepwalk a lot, which is starting to be a real problem. Last night, I was halfway up my mosquito net, and I didn't know how I got out my mosquito net. We're out, and then Martin had to wake us up, just as I was getting out the door. So that really getting a problem, because if I'm walking out the door, I could just wander off anywhere when everyone's asleep.
On the main expedition, the team will be trekking for around 8 hours a day in temperatures of 40 degrees, over 100 Fahrenheit, and they'll be camping in the wild. As part of their training, the expedition leaders took them on a short trek to sleep out for the night. The walk wasn't much more than an hour, but everyone thought it was horrendously hard going.
Yeah, is this it?
Hot, wasn't it? A little taster of what trekking in the desert's like.
The trek to get here was so hard. I was like, I can't believe I cried. It was just so sore, and my feet were just getting all blistered, and the bag was just so heavy, and it wasn't really heavy, but I'm just not used to carrying this sort of stuff.
We kind of chose to go out when it was the hottest part of the day, and the sun had just drained all the energy from everyone, so it was me in particular, and I walked slow anyway, and I was getting stuck behind everyone, and I was always, even though if I started at the front, I got to the back, and it was so hot that it was just, I was so hot and sticky that it was really hard to move.
We walked across and I couldn't do it at all. It just, it hurt. Oh, mosquito. Sorry. My legs really just ached, and I was really thirsty, and I really didn't feel good.
The worst part was when we went for that walk. Oh, that was killing. Bruce said we only walked 4 kilometers, but it felt like miles, and that's how much we have to do when we're at the desert, which is going to be really hard.
I'm really looking forward to this big expedition we have at the end, the one to the Skeleton Coast, but what we're meant to be walking, 15 kilometers a day? It was only 4 kilometers to get here, and it killed most of us. So I don't know how we're going to do it. I just don't know how, really. Quite worried about that, actually.
The one thing I'm not looking forward to, which I really was looking forward to, is the trek for the whole week. I have to do about 10 miles a day, and in the weather, I don't know if we'll be able to make it, because it's boiling hot. You seriously, it's so hard. You feel like you've got to carry on, but when you're going, it's because it's so hard, you're having tears, because it's the most hardest thing I've done in my life.
The team made their camp by a sand dune. It was an amazing location, but right in the heart of wild animals territory, so doing video diaries felt a bit spooky.
I'm a bit worried about in case any animals are coming, because I'm all on my own here. I'm not in a room or anything. I'm just actually in the wild, and I ain't got anyone by me, so I'm a bit worried at the moment.
I hear something. Hello? Who is that? It's really scary. It's like, I know them lot are just down there, but it's really scary. You might think that something can just come down behind you. We haven't actually seen any animals, but it's like, it's really scary because like Bruce said that you might not see them, but they're actually watching you. And it's really, really weird. There's something there. Going to turn that light round. Okay, what is that? Matt! 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 It's not funny! What is it?
What's wrong?
I don't know, something just walked like straight past me. It's a little bit freaky. I nearly had a heart attack. No, I'm going now.
After a quick investigation, it turned out the wild animal that spooked Ellie was actually one of the Serious Desert production team.
Ed is the cameraman, or some producer guy, sound guy, and he just walked past, and he didn't say hello when I said, "Who's there?" You just heard me. And I thought it was a lion, because it was kind of a growling, walking sound. So it's his fault that I've wasted all this tape. So yes. That's really embarrassing. I was so scared. You saw me. I was so scared.
It was an incredibly tough and traumatic few days for the team, but once their desert camp was set up, they began to realise they were spending the night in a very special place, and even Holly started to enjoy the experience.
I'm feeling a lot better than I have done for ages, because I've been feeling homesick, and it's not exactly been the best sort of couple of days being here, but tonight has been really good.
Today's been a really, really wicked day. I am so happy at the moment. Well, how long that's going to last, I have no idea. I just feel, it's so amazing here. It's like sand and sky and stars and the moon and cliffs, and it's so cool. Today's been my best day here. Actually, it's been my best day here because it hasn't rained, and we're just like sitting down looking up at the skies, and it just looks tough.
There's a full moon out, so it's absolutely bright, and you can see all the stars here. It's just amazing here today.
I'm really enjoying it actually. Before, on the video diary, I was thinking of saying like, no, I didn't really like it because I just wasn't enjoying it. I was getting really homesick, and I was feeling ill. But now, yeah, tonight has been the best night, like best night we've had, and it's really good. It's really fun.
So 3 days into the trip, and finally everyone's happy and settled in. But if they think it's been hard going so far, they're in for a big shock. Things are going to get a whole lot dirtier in the desert.
But like not being in control of the situation.
We're not brain dead, you know, you're not the big action man, get over it.
I just felt so dirty, I broke down today.
I've only had a shower once since I've been here, and it's like my 5th day or whatever, so I seriously stink.